Hello, hello, hello. Wow, that was a bit of a wobble of the camera to start off with. Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Visibility Made Easy. I believe it might be episode 50, but I'm just going to check before I actually mark it in the box. So if you have never watched one of these before, you're maybe stumbling across it. My name's Jenny Kovacs and I am known as the Queen of Being Seen because your visibility is what's of paramount importance to me. Now, if you are watching, this is all around visibility, you standing out, you spreading your ripples far and wide. I can see a number count, but I can't see who you are or where you are. So if you're feeling brave, if you're feeling visible, just type in the box below and say hello. Let me know where in the country, where in the world you are watching from. And to boot, if you or somebody that you know is thinking of starting a business, has started a business, has been in business for a long time and maybe they're transitioning and doing something else, or they've reached a plateau in their business and they're like, I'm going for it, I want to grow my business exponentially, then this could well be the episode for you. So Tracy's on. Hey Tracy, waving wildly. So this could be the episode for you or for them. So if you can see a share button on your screen, then by all means do click on share. So I'm really glad that you stopped by to say hello, Tracy, because now I know that the comments are working and, oh, Tracy's in Kent as well. It's not very far from London, but I'm actually in Stoke-on-Trent. So we're all in different places. I have people that watch these that are in all different parts of the world. You know, we've got people that are up north in the north of England, got people in the south of England, in the southwest of England. Also got a couple of people I know that watch from America. So just saying a quick hello to all of you. So tonight's Visibility Made Easy is a juicy one. Now, if any of you watching are Visibility Vibers, which I know Tracy and Ali are, so hello. I know that you both are. This week has been phenomenal. So if you're not in the Visibility Vibes Tribe Facebook group, then what we've been doing all week, people have called it a challenge, but it's actually quite good fun. And what I've been doing all week is every morning I've put in a little graphic with a simple instruction, and everyone's been hopping in and doing Facebook Lives for around a couple of minutes, just because there's like nearly 500 people in the group. And if we were all doing them for like 20 minutes or half an hour, it'd be a bit of a nightmare. So that's been going on since Monday and it's due to end tomorrow on Good Friday. However, I have been blown away by like the quality of Facebook Lives. We've had people that have never ever done them before, so they've now done their first Facebook Lives, and I can see you all saying hello to each other. And Tracy's originally from West Midlands. I'm originally from East Anglia, Tracy. I'm not what I term an original Londoner. So I've got a frog in my throat today. So all this week people have been hopping in, you know, people doing their first Facebook Lives, people doing their like umpteenth Facebook Lives, quite comfortable with Facebook Live and they're using it in their business. People just, you know, really getting to know each other. And what I love about it is, hey up Ian. See, Ian's from the north of England. That's why I say, hey up Ian, in a very bad Yorkshire accent. We've had people that, you know, have posted in the group and said hello. We've had people that have come out of the woodwork that we didn't even know were in the group before. We've had people that are really great with Facebook Lives. And do you know what? Despite many of the Visibility Vibers saying that they either don't like doing Facebook Lives or they're not good with Facebook Lives, I think there's a ruse going on because they've been really good. They've been sharing tips. They've been introducing themselves. They've been telling us about their business. They've been doing all sorts of juicy things. And we've had a really wide spectrum. We've had people that coach, but we've also had people like Ian that do web services. We've had relationship coaches. We've had, who else? We had a fitness lady, a lady that's fitness, and she told us at her age, and we were like, what? You don't look that. You look half of that. We've had somebody that helps people with their recruitment in their business. In fact, it's been so busy in that group that even though I did remind people about this tonight, I'm sure they haven't seen it. The activity, the engagement has gone nuts in a good way. And for that, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, if you've been involved in that, I salute you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You doing that, you participating, you taking part is what gives me absolute joy. And for those of you that have maybe been a bit shyer, you haven't participated, I don't want anyone to be feeling guilty or bad or anything else like that. I really, really want you just to, you know, I'm happy that you've been commenting, liking and just getting involved. So you'll see me kind of glancing like this. I'm actually glancing over on my computer, which I actually don't need tonight because I can see all of your comments. Hurrah! So one more thing before we get into tonight, which obviously is about Visibility Made Easy, but obviously has to be about Facebook Lives this week because you've all been doing some astonishing, exceptional Facebook Lives. Here's my notes on a mini post-it note. Can you see the size of that? You probably, if I hold it over my eye, you'll see how small it is. A normal post-it note is usually this size. But I've got one that's, in fact, I'm having to hold my camera tonight because I left my holder in London. Let me show what's going on. Can you see that? So it's tiny notes. And I want you guys to be able to do this too. Now, if you are used to doing Facebook Lives, used to doing videos, periscopes, live streaming on Instagram, and you get really annoyed because you go to say something and you forget what you want to say, boy, oh boy, oh boy, have I got a juicy, juicy free gift for you. And in fact, while you are there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link just underneath this now. The free gift was supposed to come out last night and I'll be honest with you, I was dotting the I's and crossing the T's. I had 3 more sections just to complete and format in a way that I wanted to. And when I went to go and format it and send it, something happened. Even though I was saving as I went along, something happened and it reverted back to about halfway back, which was even further back than when I picked it up last night. And I was really tired and I thought, I can just sit there. Hey, Liz is on. High five to you, Liz. Thank you for joining me because you've had a busy day. So I thought I can either try and rush it through, but you guys deserve more than me rushing stuff through. So I had a good night's sleep. I got up really early this morning and I finished it off. The same thing nearly happened again, but I've got it under control. But the most important thing for you to know about this juicy free gift, which are like secrets that I'm sharing, not just about Facebook Lives, but about video in general, which includes webinars. There are 12 really, really juicy tips. So let me find the link. Oh my gosh, where did I put the link? It wasn't under the Facebook Live secrets. It wasn't even under the Vibes membership program. It was, oh, I know what I did. I put it on a separate place. So it's, I'm just going to call it Exceptional Secrets for Exceptional Video. And I'm just going to cut and paste it into the links here. It's free, totally free. All you need to do is click on the link, pop in your email address, and you'll get an email sent to you. It'll also redirect you, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, it will redirect you to the Facebook group, I think, or maybe even this page, and you'll be able to let me know how you get on. So you'll get an email into your inbox. When you get that email, click on it. It's a big, you know, a nice big PDF. It's got some links in there for you as well. And it's got 12 secrets. Now, these are really, really easy things to do, and they'll have you confident as a button, confident and bright as a button on video. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll down and pop that just underneath in the comments below here. So bear with me, just, you know, play amongst yourselves while I do that. The other thing that I wanted to make a little announcement about is the very creative Namisha, who lives in London, on Thursday, so this Thursday the 20th, is holding a very small and intimate event. So about 20 odd people in the room. It's a 2-hour lunchtime gig, and basically you go there, you listen to somebody speak and share some great content at the beginning, and then at the end of it, you get an hour's worth of networking and some food. And if you would like to go along to it, Namisha has really kindly said if any of the Vibers want to get involved, want to go along, she's given us a special secret discount code. So if that's you, If that is you, let me know. At the top of this page, you can send a message and I will give you the discount code. First come, first served. So that's an announcement to make. Now, tonight, what are we going to cover? Visibility made easy, yes. Facebook Lives I'm going to feature on because it's been like the hot topic of the week, yes. And I can see that Liz, Ali and somebody else has shared this live. So thank you for doing that, because you never know, there might be somebody out there who's absolutely frightened of doing Facebook Lives, and hearing how easy they can make this and get started and having a look at those exceptional tips and nuggets and secrets that I've shared will really, really help. I have to say, it has got some detail in it, some really great stuff. I was like, should I share this for free or not, because it's really, really juicy. I'm literally telling you the secrets that I've discovered, and this is not like, I'm not using secrets in a marketing way, but they're secrets that I have discovered to make webinars, video, Facebook Lives, Periscopes, anything that you do that you record, really easy. And these are ones that you record from your phone. So apart from webinars, of course. But yeah, some really juicy stuff in there. My only request is don't share the secrets with anyone. My request is like when you get them, use them. Don't try and study them. It's not that kind of a gig. Just go in, use them, do them, and it will just take the heat off any kind of worries or concerns you've got. Ian says he's listening while he's walking the dog, so he might drop out. Thanks for letting me know that, Ian. It means that I did see your dog taking you for a walk actually yesterday in one of your Facebook Lives, so I hoped you were all right. It did make me smile, you know my sense of humour, but at the same time, yeah, kudos to you. Beautiful part of the world. Liz is saying, thank you for sharing the juicy secrets. Well, thank you for saying that. Now, there's loads of things. Oops, sorry, I just tapped the screen and made myself go all dark. There's loads of things that people ask about when they're doing Facebook Live. So if you've got any questions, you've shown up, you've come live. If you've got any questions about anything at all, please type them in the box below. But I've got a few nuggets that I want to share with you now. So the first thing that I want to say is, quite often, whether you're a novice, whether you're an expert, whether you've done, like me, at least 300 Facebook Lives now, and video, my gosh, according to my YouTube channel, they're not all public videos, but I have got over 1,170 at last count. So I've done a lot of learning by trial and error. So I want to focus on Facebook Lives because it's hot right now. It's a thing that everybody wants to do. And just looking at my notes here, because I wanted to remember the points I wanted to raise. There's a couple of things that I notice people do. And the reason that they do it is because Facebook Live is kind of like, it's been in the UK anyway for over a year and a couple of months now, and it was in the US a bit before. One of the things that, oh, Tracy's saying, wow, is that the number of videos? It's consistency, Tracy, it's consistency, absolute consistency. One of the things that I've noticed is there are things that people do inadvertently on Facebook Lives, which they don't mean to do. Maybe they've seen somebody else do a Facebook Live. They've just thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go. And what happens is this effect goes on where people do it. They think it's the confidence that's the most important thing. But actually, once you've had the confidence to do your Facebook Live, there's some other things to pay attention to. So what I see people do with Facebook Lives is almost as if they've gone, you know what, I spent years watching my parents drive a car, so I know how to do it, I know how it works, which is true of some people. They get in the car, they can drive it, but they don't know the rules of the road, or they don't know the best thing to do if something goes wrong. And this is what I see a lot in Facebook Live. So I'm going to share with you a couple of things to help raise your visibility exponentially when you're doing a Facebook Live. So today, for example, the task that was set in the Visibility Vibes Tribe group to do a Facebook Live on was which people do you help and what's the problem that you solve? Now, this sounds like a classic kind of marketing piece, you know, what's the pain and all of that. Now, when you are live at a networking event and you're explaining what you do, you still have a certain amount of time. You might be in the round where you go round and do a 60-second pitch, so you've only got 60 seconds, or you might be having the breakfast before or afterwards, or might be congregating around the bar, so you get more time to chat. Now, when you're doing a Facebook Live, when you're letting people know what you do, And this also goes for video. It has to be short, sharp and succinct. It has to be. You can't spend minutes and minutes talking about what you do. The reason being is if it takes or seems to take that much of an explanation, people will just click off or click away. And the reason they click off or click away isn't because they don't think that you're scintillating and fun and interesting. It's because they don't get that it's for them. So they'll just click off quite quickly. So I'm going to share a couple of things that I've seen that I hope will help you kind of turn your Facebook Lives up a notch. So the first thing that I'm going to address is the people piece. So you juicy vibers, you know, you might have missed out on this because this would help your Facebook Live. And for those of you that maybe haven't done your Facebook Live yet, you might go back and do it after you've heard me say this. So I'm going to address the people element because I think that is one of the most important things to do. It's very different doing this to public speaking. And I know some people are public speakers but don't like doing video or don't mind doing both. I even know public speakers that bring their public speaking persona to the camera and it just doesn't work. For one, when you're public speaking, you're live, you're in the flesh, you're a person on a stage. Even if you're in a big auditorium and you look that big, you are an actual life-size person. Whereas on a Facebook Live, you're a teeny, weeny, tiny sort of, you know, form of yourself. So there are things that you need to look at in terms of your voice, in terms of the speed at which you speak. And this is not to say that you have to speak quickly or you have to speak slowly, but there are different things to watch for. There's also different movements that you need to make because you're on a smaller screen and because of the nature of what you're doing, which are very different to face-to-face, live or anything else like that. But I'm going to focus on the people element because one of the things that people say the most and also don't say the most when they want to really master Facebook Lives is 9 times out of 10, they have got a business and really they want to get more people, more eyes on their business, more eyes on their products, more eyes and ears on their services. So what I'm going to share tonight, I've picked out what I think is the gold out of all of this. Now, I want to explain something. So one of the things I hear people say a lot, and I did hear actually somebody say on one of their Facebook Lives today, and this is not a dig at them, but this is a trap that a lot of people fall into, and I too fell into in the earlier stages of my business. What we do, especially when we offer a service to people, we know that it can help a lot of people, and we know that anyone that try our tips, our techniques, or anything else like that, we know that it can help them too. However, just because anybody can benefit from what we do doesn't mean that we should aim our Facebook Live or our video or even our marketing, our promotion, our visibility, our sales to anyone. There's a really great reason for this. If you try and get your stuff out there to everybody, nobody hears it. And the reason nobody hears it is because it doesn't seem specific enough. There's a little voice inside their head where people go, oh, well, that's not me then. And they'll just like discount themselves. And it could be the person that says that is the very person that you know you could help. Now, something weird goes on in your brain, and this is not what this Facebook Live is about. And perhaps if this is something of interest to you, let me know. I'll cover it on a Q&A Wednesday in the tribe, or I'll cover it on one of these Visibility Made Easy segments on a Thursday. But one of the things that people get fearful of is they've got a business, they need to market to as many people as possible, they want visibility, they want to spread their ripples far and wide, and they think that if they were to choose a niche or to narrow down their market that people will no longer be interested, and that simply just isn't true. It isn't true. It doesn't work in that way. So I'm just putting in the visibility vibe. So one of the things that you need to do is you need to start looking at your person. Now, I have to say, I'm a bit of what could be called an anti-nicher, if there is such a word. I get the importance of a niche in marketing, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to visibility, the niche isn't the most important thing. The people, the persona, the characteristics are. Now, if you think about this, there's always like an art and a science to doing things. And many of you would have heard me talk about the head, the heart and the hands. The head is the bit that says, this is for anyone. This is for people. This is for anyone. The head is a bit that says this is for, what I offer is for entrepreneurs, or what I offer is for business owners, or even companies or corporates. That's the head. That's the logical part of it. That logical part will not necessarily match with the logical part of somebody else. And if it does, there's a lot lower percentage or a lot lower chance of that happening. Does that make sense? If what I've just said there sounds like total, doo-doo or baloney, just say, Jenny, what? And spell what with like 100 A's or something like that with a question mark. But if that makes sense, I will carry on unless I get any questions from you. But just let me know that makes sense. So that's the head part. That's the logical part. The way that we are really going to attract people to us, especially on a Facebook Live, thank you, Liz says that makes sense, especially on a Facebook Live, is by connecting with them, by engaging with them. Now, there's a really important reason to do this. If you are a person that only works with people with blue hair that comes up to their shoulders and has a side parting, when people with pink hair come in, they'll know from the get-go, this isn't the person for pink hair, this is the person for blue hair with the bob and with the, with the side parting. But what then happens is you have some other people with blue hair, some other people with green hair, yellow hair and whatever else that say, do you know what? I really want to be the person with the bob, the side parting and the blue hair. It's important that you state not the niche, but the characteristics of those people that you want to work with and you want to work more with, because they hear it. It's like a dog whistle. They hear it and they get it. And if they're not quite there yet, or they're aspiring to be, they start saying inside their head, I'm in, instead of, no, not me. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you some examples of what I hear people say and how you can hone it down. And in that way, the one thing I want you to do is, I want you to promise me that, especially as I'm shaking my phone at you, it's like that advert about shaking your Tic Tacs. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but there you go. Tic Tacs in the UK, by the way, are little sweets. Nothing rude, nothing dirty. So don't get excited if you're watching this on the replay. Don't start sending me rude messages, like rude private messages saying, hi, I'm going to come and meet you in London. You are very nice. None of that, please. So one of the things, this is how it can sound. And this is what I hear a lot, and this is how it can sound to really work for your business, specifically exceptional visibility raising nuggets. Okay, so you're giggling at my silly accent there, but it's true. So the first thing is, for those of you that say, yeah, but I can help people, I can help anyone, I really can. I want you to think about this. You can help anyone, yeah? What kind of people do you want to help? Don't think about the niche now. Think about the actual characteristics of the person. Let me give you an example. When I think about like some of the people I've worked with, let me give you an example of the actual person piece, because I think this will make sense. So many years ago, I was approached by someone who I actually didn't know. I'd only been in the same room as them for about an hour. And they approached me and said, I want to work with you. And I was a bit like, hello, what's your name? And I said, well, why do you want to work with me? Now, at the time, I was actually in somebody else's training room. And part of who I am and what I stand for is integrity, absolute integrity. I always want to be truthful and just lay it on the line. So to me, it didn't feel good that I was helping somebody else in their event and somebody's asking to come and work with me. So I actually said, not possible. You need to go and speak to the person whose event it is and ask them first, and they went off and did that and said, but I still want to work with you. And I said, well, you need to have a conversation with them to let you know that you're kind of propositioning me, so to speak. Anyway, long story cut short, they spoke to the person whose event it was. They went ahead and did the stuff that they needed to do, and we had the conversation. It was all clear, part of my integrity and truth. So the person whose event it was, they knew that I was going to be working with this person and everything else. So the characteristics of this person, like I could have tried to niche them, male, age and all of that. However, This person came to me and said, basically, I want to work with you. I know what I want. I need this, this and this, and I want to work with you. And here's how where niching doesn't quite cut it. And the reason that I'm going into this level of detail with you is when you're doing a Facebook Live or a video, you need to be wearing the persona of this person down to this kind of level of detail. So this person is really interested in personal development, really interested in personal development. They openly said that they have a bit of a spiritual slant, so they'll often talk about the universe and things like that. This person is highly professional, highly ambitious, okay? This person happened to be a guy and happened to be at the time, around his mid-40s, okay? But this person had worked with some really like huge brands. And this person at the time earned, I would say, at least 5 times the annual salary that I earned, which made me outside go, oh, lovely, but inside think, oh my gosh. This person, when you give them an invoice, they pay it promptly. They don't cancel last minute on their appointments. They always show up on time. They know that our sessions are 1 hour. By 59 minutes, they look at their watch and say, thank you so much, and they'll go off. This person has got the kind of like manners that, you know, so polite, the kind of person that would be nice to the waiter. This person, you know, quite often if, you know, we meet in a public place, I'm coaching them and I'm working with them, I'll offer to buy the drinks. They're like, no, I'll take care of it. So there are lots of characteristics to this person that makes it like really easy, really lovable. They've got a good vibe to them. And you'll notice, for those of you that are in the Visibility Vibes group, we don't have haters and horrible people in there. It just doesn't happen. And that's because I'm really clear on the characteristics of the people that this works for. So Tracy says customer persona works for me. Absolutely. Now, you can have that, or you can have the person who, let me give you an example. Around the same time, probably about 3, maybe 4 weeks later, someone approached me, Jenny, I really need to work with you. I organised the call in the same way that I did with the first person. And the minute they came on the call, the first thing they said was, oh, by the way, what dialing system do you use for these calls? I thought, strange question. I was like, oh, by the way, hello, hello. It'd be nice to say hello first. So the first thing they wanted to know is what dialing system I had. They started trying to interrogate me on the, you know, what booking system I use, what's my process. And I said, well, we can talk about that later. But really, this call is about me getting to know you, you getting to know me, and me finding out what you need if I'm the person to help, blah-de-blah-de-blah. So they proceeded to tell me that actually I've been working with a marketing coach for a year and I'm doing so well. And they told me about all their accolades and what was great. So they went on and, you know, I'm very well known. I've got all of these people that like my page. I put on events. I've done these joint things. You know, I liken myself to a really like well-known top coach. So after about 20 minutes of this, they kind of ran out of steam and I said, so why do you want to work with me? And they went on and started to talk about their accolades, and I paused them and I said, I'm going to interrupt you there. It seems to me that you've got it all figured out and you've got it all sorted. I want to know how I can work with you and how you could work with me. But as you seem to have it all sorted, and I repeated back some of their accolades, I really don't think that there's any point us continuing the conversation because there's nothing else for us to talk about. At which point they said, well, actually, I have got these, you know, I've got this big list, I do all this stuff, but I just don't seem to be able to get the clients in. Then obviously the rest of the conversation is quite confidential, but what they shared with me wasn't something that I would help them with. And I truly feel, could be wrong, you know, in the bottom of my heart, that they just kind of went on the call to see how I did things, to see if they could pick up a nugget of doing something. People that are in that space, I don't want to work with, because to be honest with you, that kind of thing would probably get my heckles up a bit. They're not going to get the best of me. I would rather they went off and worked with somebody else. You know, the other thing about this person was they were highly indecisive, and that's not a judgment on being indecisive. I can be quite indecisive on certain things. But when I phone somebody and say, I need to work with you, I want to work with you, I need to find out what you can do for me and how we can work together, I'm not going to start telling them all about, well, I've got a Facebook page, you know, and I've done 300 videos and I've done this, this and this. It doesn't serve them. It doesn't make for a conducive conversation. Thank you for the love hearts, by the way. Really love that. So it doesn't make for conducive conversation. So when you're doing your Facebook Live, go into like their personality traits, their characteristics. If they, you know, if they're quite comical, like their humour, talk about it. If you prefer straight-laced study, straight down the line, don't, you know, be unapologetic about that. Now, the other thing that I've heard people say is, I work with entrepreneurs, which is true to a point. Yes, you do work with entrepreneurs, but there's a part of me that says, yeah, but what kind of entrepreneurs do you work with? So, again, let me give you a couple of examples. So, current client that I've got and have had sort of on and off over the years, very, very entrepreneurial, turns their hand to all sorts of different businesses, whether it's a creative business, a consulting business. They're very, very entrepreneurial, classically entrepreneurial, always look to do, always look to go from the passion, very, very like massive hearted, but will always look to help make a profit, and actually helps other businesses do that as well. Versus somebody else who, they have gone through the entrepreneurial journey, they've made money, they've lost money, they've done all sorts of things. But what's then happened is they lost the money and they felt like they had to have a persona. Now, remember me saying a little while back that some of my kind of qualities, if you like, my values are about integrity, having integrity, being honest, and being as truthful as you possibly can. And when I say that, I don't mean smoke and mirrors. I mean that sometimes there's certain truths that don't need to be told. Like when my 4-year-old nephew asked me about Father Christmas. That's all I'm going to say there. But there are certain things that need to be told and don't need to be told, if you catch my drift. Because I know that sometimes kids watch this. So that's enough. But one of the things that they were very strong on was that they wanted to keep a persona that they had of like 10 years before, where they were making masses of money. They, you know, the world was at their feet. They were flying all over the world. But at this point in time, and in fact for the 3 years before, they weren't making any money. They were quite skint. They were having to rely on their partner. That all this stuff was going on. They wanted to help me raise their visibility from the place of where they were 10 years ago and not where they were now. That didn't work for me, because what they actually wanted my help was not only raising the visibility, but keeping up the pretense that they were in a different place to where they actually were. So again, you can see the characteristics of that. And then the third one that I want to cover tonight is the corporate thing. So the head will tell you corporates are good people to work with because they have big budgets and entrepreneurs don't. I've heard that before. That's not my words. That's what I've heard a lot. Your heart will say, but I really want to go into the corporates because they have such a hard time and they work such long hours and they're not great on themselves. And that could be true. It's not true for everyone that works in corporate, and some people are quite happy in that shell. The hands would be this conversation. So Liz says making sure values are similar. Yeah, and sometimes you don't get to know that. And sometimes your values don't need to be similar. They just need to be that the values don't hit up or butt up against each other. If they're polar opposites, it makes for a really like unhealthy piece. And by the way, if you've just joined this and you're watching this now, the reason that I'm going through these characteristics are because if you're doing a Facebook Live, you need to be able to articulate the types of people you work with. It doesn't need to take hours and hours. It could be, so going back to one of the first examples, I work with people, so I've made the generic thing, people who are highly ambitious, driven, known as A players, but also are really, really keen on personal development. That starts to whittle down and narrow down a certain type of person. I might even say, and they're not afraid to talk about the universe delivers something, you know. So that gives some context. Tracy says values matter, and yes, it's not always apparent at first, as I've experienced recently. Oh yes, Tracy, I've been there. In fact, most people that leave a job don't tend to leave the job because they don't enjoy the job. It's because it clashes with their values. And I've certainly had that experience in my deep, dark and distant past, where the values of the company did not seem to align with my values. And the values of the company did not align with the values that they publicly put out there. You know, so that can be really difficult too. So absolutely spot on. So the corporate thing I want to just quickly cover is a lot of people say they want to work with corporates because they feel like there's some sort of pain that goes on within corporates, which for some companies, unfortunately, is true. Some maybe not so true. But one of the things, or one of the perceptions that people have of corporates are how they roll. Now, I'm going to give you two examples of corporates, and it was really funny because I was having this kind of simultaneous conversations with both of them. And I'm going to be honest, I was like, oh my gosh, if both of these contracts come off, I'm just going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to need to hire people, like lots of people to help me. One of them was an organisation, told me what they needed, told me what they wanted, which was they wanted to raise the visibility of their organisation. And they wanted to do it in such a way that showed a really good reputation. Fine, I thought, I'm up for that, I can help with that, let's talk. So the first thing that they did was they insisted that I met them face to face. So I went into London, and yes, I live in London, but I went into the depths of London, and I remember I had a bit of a kind of a shonky cold. This was about 4 years ago. I went in, had the conversation, had the meeting with two of them, and they apparently loved me. It felt like we got on really well. And when I left, I got an email, feedback, absolutely love you, definitely want to speak to you again because there's 6 other people you need to meet. And I'm like, well, you called the meeting. Why wasn't everybody there that needed to be? Because I did actually say that in some of the pre-ramble. Stakeholders, anyone that's got a vested interest, let me know. They didn't let me know that in the meeting. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go for the second meeting. So the second meeting we arranged. Now get this, like 4 hours before, luckily I was in London that day, not up here in Stoke. I was getting ready to leave. I'd already got ready and dressed and everything else, getting ready to leave so I could get there in good time. And I got, not a phone call, an email. Thank goodness I checked my emails. And the email advised me that, sorry, we're going to have to call off the meeting. Somebody can't make it. We've got another meeting before and it looks like it's going to overrun. But we'll need to make another meeting for another time. At which point I was a bit like, we haven't even agreed to work together yet, you know. So lo and behold, 2 weeks later, they came back and said, yes, okay, what we've decided to do is the other people can't make the meeting. They've just said it's down to me. So you and I can have a talk. So we start to have this conversation, and the conversation turned into what I can only describe as a brain picking exercise. It wasn't how we can work together at all. It was like, here's the problem we've got, here's what we did. Now, the very first meeting, I actually did my normal popcorn spitting, made a couple of suggestions of things to do on their website and things like that. And by the time I looked at their website, like 4 days later, they had implemented what I had said. Free advice, no problem. And I just thought, I'm not open for a third meeting that's full of brain picking. So I just said to them, look, I've got some concerns. We need to work together, but we need to know, I need you to know that I'm definitely the person for you, and I need to know that I'm definitely the person for you. So we need to stop this conversation as it is, because I need to establish that we're definitely working together. We need to draw up some terms and conditions and get started. And they were actually quite happy and pleased about it. However, it didn't feel good to me because every piece or every point of contact they had, they just used it to pick my brains. It was under the guise of we need a meeting, and they used it to pick my brains. On the flip side, I had a meeting with somebody. I'd gone to do some training somewhere else. A manager had come in and said, can I speak to you? I'm going to make an introduction to you to this other manager, different department, blah, de, blah, de, blah. They said, we need to have a meeting. They were quite away from me, and I said, we can do a face-to-face meeting, but initially we can have a conference call. No problem, they said. I can set up the conference call if you like, or you can, up to you. No problem. Conference call was set up. People that needed to be there were on the call. They talked about their requirements and what they needed. They asked how I could help, if I could help. They asked for my suggestions of how we could work moving forward, what would be the best way to work with their team. It was a very different dialogue. The characteristics were very different. And it's almost like sometimes you don't just hear it, you can feel it. And because those characteristics were very different, I was like an absolute yes. So when I then said to them, this is, I need to go away and put the proposal together. You're looking around the ballpark of X amount. I also said to them, and by the way, if you decide that you definitely want to do this and you want to move quickly, what I will need from you is a purchase order number. I'm giving away all my trade secrets, but I need a purchase order number, and I will pencil it out in the diary. Once you say yes, then it will be a firm in the diary. Now get this. This conversation happened just after lunchtime, so it's afternoon on a Wednesday. 8:30 on the Thursday morning, I get an email from the PA, the person or one of the people that I spoke to. They were also on annual leave, and I get an email from them saying basically, we want to go ahead. I've told my PA we're going to get the purchase order number for you. About 9:15, my phone rings. PA's on the phone, just to let you know, this is a purchase order number. We're good to go. How do we pay the deposit? Not, can we split it? Or how do we pay the deposit? Paid the deposit, work was done. Experience was completely different. So when you were doing a Facebook Live, it's all well and good to say I work with people, I work with corporates, I work with business owners, but you need to give more of an idea of the characteristics of those business owners, and really quickly. Even if you say something ambitious, go-getting business owners, spiritual business owners. I work with members of the public who, in fact, I would never say members of the public, scratch that. I work with men or women who are looking to, in fact, let me use some examples, because some real examples of people that are on here. So I work with women who are in their mid-30s who have experienced really difficult relationships in the past and want to get ready for their next relationship. Or I work with people whose self-esteem has been knocked, and they would describe themselves as confident, but it's been knocked because of a body confidence issue. I work with people who are truly spiritual and want to navigate the business world in a way that feels good to them, and using some of the Chinese medicine, feng shui, 9 keys, face reading and things like that. Does that make sense? When you start to really define what those people are like, a bit like, a bit tongue-in-cheek, a bit like I work with people with blue hair that come to the shoulder with a side parting. If I was that specific on the people I worked with, I would also follow it up with, or if you are thinking about getting blue hair and it's your first time, you'll find what I teach really useful. But if you're stuck on having pink hair and yellow hair, then I can at least let you know that my friend Ellie can help you with that. Does that make sense? So next time you're doing a Facebook Live, for those of you that are in the Visibility Vibes Tribe group, even if you've already done your Facebook Live today, just go in and do another one. Keep it under 2 minutes, because you can simply say, I work with, ambitious business owners who are, who love personal development and love looking at how they can grow to help their clients grow and make a difference in the world. It doesn't really matter what you say, but when you start to describe those characteristics, not niche, but characteristics, it feels more connective, it feels more engaging. If you go on there and you try to say, well, I can help anyone, give me a ring, send me a message, that's not connecting information. They don't know you yet. Ivana's a relationship coach. She gets people relationship ready, and it's a bit like her women going to her saying, I work with, I really want to get relationship ready. And she says, well, let me get you the wedding planning, let me get you the, all the bits that they're like, whoa, hold on, slow down, I don't know you yet. We haven't even gone on a date. Are you going to help me to know how to be on a date? Does that make sense? Thank you so much for watching me. One of the things that will really support what I've been talking about today, specifically when it comes to doing video, Facebook Lives, or even webinars, is to go up, have a look at the free gift that I offered. It's a free gift. It's my video secrets, things that I've shared, stuff that I haven't collated it from some guru or some, video person and then kind of, distilled it. These are all things that I actually do, things that I advise, like previously have advised my private clients to do. Some of them, they haven't even heard these. So this is really precious and dear to me. Go click on the link. You'll get an email into your inbox. Download, have a look at the tips. But here's what I want you to do. Come back to this page and let me know which tip you like the most and why, without saying what the tip is. Just say, tip number 6 was brilliant because, and just put your reasons why. And if you're not already part of the conversation in the Visibility Vibes Tribe group, I would love you there. Absolutely love to have you there. So go over, get to meet the other Vibers that have been doing their very short Facebook Lives this week. I look forward to having the conversations with you in there and on this page. Thank you so much for joining me. I love that I'm allowed to do this and allowed to converse and share these juicy tips with you. So thank you so much. Have an absolutely beautiful evening if you're in the UK and in Europe. A gorgeous rest of the day. And if you celebrate Easter, have a lovely, lovely Easter weekend. I look forward to seeing you back here next Thursday at the same time. Lots of love to you all. See you later and bye for now. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Ivona. I think Ellie, if you're on, thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, everyone. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.